and welcome to the third installment of RPG Discord history. Sorry for the delay, but turns out I used some of my time to run the Christmas events. Today we are looking at the history of the Discords that have run or still run O3s. O3 Oryx Sanctuary was supposed to be the hardest dungeon when it released, and it was, until the Shatters rework was dropped just 1 year later. O3 is special in a way that it is the only endgame dungeon that can not be unlocked through a key. Instead, you need to pop 3 runes after the O2 wine cellar fight to unlock the dungeon. This makes the dungeon even less accessible outside of Discords than the other dungeons, as it is rare to see all 3 runes popped by chance or random people in a normal realm. 2020, the Rune Wars. When O3 just released, runes were a lot rarer than they are now, partially because the drop chances were much lower, but also because people did not have the chance to stockpile them yet. This means the first Discords had to participate in what we now look back to as the Rune Wars, which mainly revolved around the shield rune at the time, as that rune, unlike the other two, did not drop from Exaltation dungeons, but exclusively from event spawns and court dungeons. Dungeoneer. Dungeoneer, or how it used to be called Dungeoneer Exalted 3, was the third iteration of a random dungeon Discord, which all shared the same name. The latest Discord being made around the same time the Unity client came out. This Discord was originally supposed to be a merger between Realm Clearing and Dungeoneer that would run random dungeons, realm clearing, and PvE contests. Instead, the Discord immediately morphed into the first O3 Discord, with the 3 other aspects fading into the background over time. Thanks to the help of its partners like the Founder Discord and an event in cooperation with streamers of the Content Guild, Discord grew rapidly at the release of O3 and arguably did the most runs at the beginning. Oryx Sanctuary. Currently the biggest Discord for O3, as well as the sharing the name of the dungeon. This Discord was the first to employ a website to organize runs through its now iconic web app. This was used to do very efficient realm clearing in the beginning, and then later to organize the O3 runs better. This Discord grew extremely fast, as it was made by the admins of Popholes, the biggest raiding server to this day, and therefore in the unique position of getting partnered at its inception. Divinity. The third biggest and most controversial player at the time was Divinity. This Discord established itself at first by trying to do high requirement runs, but couldn't compete well with the big public servers or the many small private ones. Aside from that, it also had a bad reputation for hackers in their staff team. This led to the Discord pulling the worst move a Discord has ever pulled by paying for shield runes to be popped for them with Deca rings, which led to the price of that one rune to skyrocket for private runs, as well as killing the runs of both Dungeoneer and Osank. This got so bad that at some point, one shield rune cost up to 6 Decas, which led to allegations of duping being thrown at Divinity. The server got nuked twice by its staff members before the last nuke put it down for good. The reason was a divide between some staff and the owner, as well as other hacker-friendly servers popping up to switch to. Exalted. This Discord also tried to create a niche by also running public runs for smaller and more efficient groups. But due to the competition being so strong, they also resorted to the controversial move of paying runes of Decas, despite being anti-hack and later even banning hacking members outside of staff. Sadly, the Discord couldn't establish itself fully, and staff went to other servers, which is the reason it doesn't run nowadays. Private servers. The early days of O3 were the best for private servers, as the dungeon encouraged small groups through its HP scaling and loot distribution. While not many servers remain today, you can still find some that were public, like Endgame and Voo O3s, if you look hard enough. Sadly, even those have stopped running at this point, as the wider community has learned O3, and the HP scaling has also changed. Instead, there are a lot of guilds that run O3s now, which is arguably even better. 2021 Discord wave. 2021 saw a new wave of public Discord servers, as the drop rate of runes was significantly increased by the developers. There was also now a chance for random runes being popped for free, which increased the amount of runes being stockpiled. Aside from O3 only servers, many Exaltation discords were also started in this time and used O3 as their main driving point, while also trying to run other dungeons in this time frame. O3 only servers. O3 only servers mostly try to appeal to people wanting to do small runs in smaller groups due to their high HP scaling. Discords like Garglone or Dancing Swords really weren't much different from their bigger rivals. This is also the reason those discords stopped running, as the player numbers have dropped since then and the general community has shifted back into the bigger servers. Exaltation discords. Since Exaltations were added as a new progression system, higher end players looked to do all dungeons and not just O3. This is the reason discords like Heated Exaltations in the United States of Exaltations ran dungeons aside from it and advertised themselves as such. Sadly, most of these discords also died, aside from the big ones we will mention later. 2022 decline. As mentioned before, the game numbers made a big drop in 2021, and 2022 only continued the trend. Reason for this was a lack of advertising and the developers not improving the new player experience, which is why, as all players quit, there were no new fresh players to replace them. There's also the reason many beginner-friendly discords died, and new discords would solely focus on appealing to veteran players. Holy Crusaders. Previously a regular Exaltation discord, Holy Crusaders switched to voice chatless runs after seeing the success of other discords with said formula. What makes it special is that Holy Crew was the first VC-less discord that had no requirements for the O3s, which increased accessibility by a lot, but also made run quality a lot worse. In the end, this has paid off, though, as the discord is still running and up to date. Raiders. Unlike Holy Crew, Raiders was VC-less from its inception and also took a more laid-back approach to the runs. While having no regs for the regular O3s, this discord also does high requirement runs for O3, Lost Souls, and most prominently, HardMode Shatters. They still run today. Others. There are other discords that started running O3s very early. On the one hand, there was SVC, which added O3s and later Exaltations. STD, which is partially where the people from Divinity went and ran Exaltations till it died. And lastly, Null, which also started running O3s to attract more players very early. But all those discords have been mentioned in more detail in my Lost Souls Discord history video. Check that out if you haven't yet. Thanks for watching. This is the third big installment of ROMG Discord history. I might look at the Shatters history once some more time has passed, as the dungeon still gets some discords from time to time, so we will see. I can assure you that video will be more juicy than this one though, even more juicy. Until then, I will make some smaller videos about the history of ROMG Discord partnerships, nukes, and other interesting aspects that I couldn't include here. Maybe I will also do some commentary with gameplay on situations falling right now, or future predictions, but we will see. For now, I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to subscribe and like for more. See you in the next one then. Bye bye.